Well, guys and gals, it's been hot and hot and hotter here, and I'm back working on this, let's see, what is this one? This one's a Troy build. And I pulled the gas tank out of it thinking that, like many of these mowers, that the solenoid would be back in here, but I was wrong. The solenoid actually is down here, right there. This is back underneath the seat and behind where the battery goes. And one of the things that is needful for these solenoids to work properly is that they have a proper ground. And so I decided to investigate where the ground was going on this mower, because it would click and grunt and then it would stop, and then we would lose all power completely. So I discovered that I had maybe a bad connection on the battery itself, but that's not a positive. That's a pun. Yeah, anyway, this is where the ground strap from the battery goes down here and bolts down to the frame. And because the solenoid needs a good ground, I'm going to relocate this ground strap from this spot down the frame down there. And I'm going to see if I can do this. Stand on your head, stand on my head. I don't know if I can see this or not. Yes, there it is. I'm going to relocate the ground to one of the mounting bolts right there where the solenoid mounts to the body. And that'll solve two issues. It'll make sure we have a good ground to the solenoid, and it'll also make sure we have a good ground to everything else. Now so that's the next thing I'm going to do. So I'll unbolt that, clean it up, and rebolt it underneath, and I'll bring you back. Yeah, so remember, I'm working up here in the carport, and while I have a pretty good selection of tools up here, I don't have, most of my tools are down there in the goofy garage. So I don't have a long extension for my 1/4-inch drive. So this is what we do. Yep, this handle has a plug-in in the back down to here, and that way I can go right down in here just like this, and I can get right on that bolt. And of course I got the wrong size socket. It's actually a 3/8. I got a 7/16 on there. Okay, now you can see where I relocated my ground strap right to the solenoid base itself. So now we're going to put our battery back in place. And with these, thankfully it's pretty simple. Battery box just kind of pops down in there, don't you know, like that. And we'll drop the battery in there and hook it up, and I'm going to put the charger back on it. The battery that was in this was deader than a doornail, and so I pulled the battery out of another one of my mowers, and I'm putting a charger on it, make sure we got full charge for testing. That's always important. I'm showing you this clip so that you can see that the battle is real. Having shaky hands is no excuse for not going ahead and doing the job. You know, if I could do it, you could do it. And I gotta tell you, it gets worse instead of better. I'm 73 years old. Yep. And I don't expect it to get any better than this. But we keep on doing what we can do, right? And that's the encouragement that we have. In fact, I told my son-in-law the other day, you all know him, we call him Big Dog. I told him, I said, you know, I appreciate all you do for me, but as long as I'm able to do things, let me do what I can do. It's very important for my mental well-being as well as just being able to keep on going. And he understood, and he knows that I appreciate the help that he does. I just don't want him to do more than he needs to do. It'll come soon enough. All right, we're going to put the charger back on this, and then we're going to give it a try. That's a free rant on my part. Okay, so we have the battery all mounted in there, what you saw, and I wanted to clarify, my little rant was not looking for sympathy, but as an encouragement to some of you older fellows that watch, and I say older, I'm probably older than most of the guys that watch me, but as we get older, we tend to have these issues, and I just wanted to encourage you, don't give up, keep on doing what you can do. And that's one of the reasons why I keep tinkering with lawnmowers and stuff, because it's something I can do, and I'm able to do. So anyway, let's see if this thing will crank over. I'm pointing at the motor so you can see the motor. Oh yeah, she cranks over. That's a good thing. So now, the next thing, I think I'm going to pull the mower deck out from underneath it. I don't have the mower belt for it anyway, and I'm not going to use it for a mower. And we'll let her down so it's easier to work on. I've checked the oil. Actually, I added some oil to it. I put a little bit of gas in the gas tank. So we'll go from there. I did pull one of the plugs. Let me slide you down in here. I did pull one of the plugs off of the seat safety switch there. So that's why it will start with the seat up. If that was not disconnected like that, if that was not disconnected, it wouldn't let me start it with the seat tipped up. You'd have to be sitting on the seat. Okay, I've changed the fuel filter, and there was gas coming through so much it was running out of the carburetor. So let's see what happens. We're not even going to give it a squirt this time because the gas was running out. See if it'll start and stay running on its own. Take the choke off. Okay, so we have a fuel delivery problem, obviously. And so I think what we're going to do, I'm going to take you down off the stand is what I'm going to do. First thing right off the bat, I'm going to take you right down. Just relax, don't get excited, don't jump around, don't shake, George. Be calm, be cool.
No shaking camera.
All right then. So now I'm going to see if I get down on my knees here. We're going to take these two screws off and get this cover out of the way. Nope, we're not going to do that. We're going to take this float bowl off. We're going to disconnect this solenoid, and we'll take this off here, and that'll drop the float bowl down, and we'll get a chance to see what the inside of the carburetor looks like. So hold on to your hats, because here we go. Whoo-wee. Look at the inside of that thing. You could almost eat that stuff. This is kind of gunked up too. We'll have to clean that off. And we'll clean this out and we'll squirt up into the needle and seat as well as we can. It's kind of grungy all over up in there. Well, maybe we're going to have to take the carburetor right off. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take the carburetor the rest of the way off. Hold on to your hats.
I got it.
Okay, so now we're going to pull the carburetor off. And to take this here off, you had the two bolts, the two nuts that hold that on, plus there's a bolt that goes down through the top. These two here are 10 millimeter, the one on the top is 8 millimeter. Naturally, they can't make everything the same. That would be too simple. So I have cleaned a little bit. Now we're going to remove the fuel line. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just slide this out here. And we've got to disconnect this. And we've got to disconnect this. And this one you have to rotate this away. Up. Up and out. Like that. And this one rotates the same way. This one has a spring. Can you see that spring down in there, Mr. Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Come on out of there. Oh, you have to wait. There we go. Get that out of there. And now we got a ground wire up in here. That's probably a 10. Nope, that's another 8 millimeter. We'll undo that one. Now we'll get the fuel line off of it. Can you come around here so they can see the fuel line?
Yes, sir. Right here. Right here.
See the fuel clamp?
Yep, I see the clamp.
Gas clamp. We'll slide it back. Of course, you do that by squeezing these two tangs together. You all know how to do that. And then you still need your pliers to break it loose. Wow. And now we'll look up inside here. We'll take the float out, and that pin is stuck, which it should not be stuck. Usually they just slide in and out easily. Not so in this case. That baby is jammed in there. Yeah, it's pretty grungy all the way around. Alright, we're going to work on taking this off, and we're going to take it down, and we'll meet you down in the shop where we're going to put it in the ultrasonic carburetor cleaner. Come on, there we go. There's the pin. You see that?
I can see that clearly.
Now we can lift this off. And there's our needle valve, and it's corroded. And it's corroded pretty bad down in there. We're going to take this down and we'll finish taking it apart.